name is Kathy, and today I will be teaching the Scottish song Auld Lang Syne from the 52 Scottish Songs for All Harps book by Sylvia Woods. Now, this well-known piece of music has a rich history. In 1788, Robert Burns sent the poem Auld Lang Syne to the Scots Musical Museum, indicating that it was an ancient song, but that he'd been the first to record it on paper. The phrase Auld Lang Syne roughly translates as "for old time's sake," and the song is all about preserving old friendships and looking back over the events of the year. At the end of this teaching video, I'll include a translation of the words into modern English so you can understand it a little better. It is sung all over the world, primarily on New Year's Eve, to evoke a sense of belonging and fellowship tinged with nostalgia. It is also commonly used to symbolize other endings and new beginnings, including farewells, funerals and other memorials of the dead, graduations, the end of a non-New Year party or a Boy Scout gathering, the election of a new government, the last lowering of the Union Jack as a British colony achieves independence, and even as a signal that a retail store is about to close for the day. It has long been a much-loved Scottish tradition to sing the song just before midnight on New Year's Eve. Everyone stands in a circle holding hands. Then, at the beginning of the final verse, "And there's a hand, my trusty friend," they cross their arms across their bodies so that their left hand is holding the right hand of the person on the right, and the right hand holds that of the person on their left. When the song ends, everyone rushes to the middle, still holding hands, and probably giggling. When the circle is re-established, everyone turns under the arms to end up facing outwards, with hands still joined. I will teach the easy version first and then the advanced version. Then I will play the easy version with all the elements discussed, and then the advanced version. When performing this piece of music as a solo in public, it's nice to play the easy version and then immediately play the advanced version for a wonderful full-toned effect, and I'll demonstrate this as well. Hello! When learning this piece of music, clap and count out the right hand and the left hand, and then learn hit hands separately and put it hands together. And when you've done this, then you'd move on to the expression. Now, Auld Lang Syne is written in the key of G major. Now, you might wonder why all music isn't written in C major, especially harp music. The reason is that each musical key has a special quality to it, very much like the voice of different people. Two people can sing the same song and it has a different quality because of the vocal characteristics of each of the people. Writing music in different keys is very similar to this. The key of G major has one sharp, and it's an F. And so before you begin this piece of music, you need to engage all the F sharping levers on your harp. Those are the blue ones. Okay. Now, all music tells a story, and I'm not talking about the words of the song. Rather, I'm speaking about the music itself. In Auld Lang Syne, the melody is in the right hand, and the accompaniment is in the left hand. So make sure that the right hand melody is louder overall than the left hand. In all music, there is a beginning and an ending and a climax point. And we will discuss each of these elements now. In music, it is a general rule of thumb that when the notes of the melody, in this case the right hand notes, rise in pitch from lower notes to higher notes, that the volume will increase until it reaches the climax point. The musical term for this is a crescendo. The climax point is a special spot in the music, and so is treated a little differently. The tempo will slow down slightly for a couple of notes prior to the actual climax note to give added emphasis to the climax point, which will then be held slightly longer. When the melody notes descend in pitch, they will gradually be reducing in volume. In music, this is called a decrescendo or a diminuendo. When a melody passage concludes, the final few notes will gradually slow down until the final note is reached, which will be held just a little longer and will be slightly emphasized. This gradual slowing down is called a ritardando in musical terms. In Auld Lang Syne, the melody gradually floats its way down to the ending after the climax point. This gradual melodic floating rises and falls in several steps, and with it, the rising in volume and lowering in volume takes place, along with the slight stretching of the rhythm. Now, this slight stretching of the rhythm is called rubato. In Auld Lang Syne, there is an initial melody phrase and a chorus. Both parts of the tune are treated in the same way, having a beginning, an ending, and its own climax point. As a general rule of thumb, the left hand of most songs will be the spot where the beat of the song manifests most strongly. In general, the first note of each bar of music in the left hand is slightly emphasized to give a good, strong beat, and the lower notes are emphasized slightly. This causes the playing of the piece of music to have greater depth and contrast. At the conclusion of the piece, there will be a slight retardando or a slight slowing down of the tempo so that the listener can hear that the song is about to end. This is an important point because it's very jarring to a listener to just suddenly end a piece of music, especially in a song like Auld Lang Syne. At the end of the piece, the final left-hand note should be slightly emphasized so that it rings on hauntingly to slowly die out as a single note. Now, this is the melody. I'm just going to play it so that you can hear this. That's the climax point. And you hold it a little bit. Hear the up and down. Slight slowing. That's the first part. Now the second part. Falling down like feathers down. And here's its climax point. And slowly down. Coming to the end, slow. See how that goes? Okay. Here is the easy harp arrangement of Auld Lang Syne. Excellent. Now, in the advanced version of Auld Lang Syne, the first beats of each measure are accentuated with a broken three-note chord. Now, this naturally emphasizes the rhythm of the song and gives it a greater body. And the climax points are embellished with a lovely ascending arpeggio pattern in the left hand that further emphasizes the climax points. When playing these left-hand arpeggios, the first note is played slightly louder to emphasize the beat, and then the ascending notes will gradually slow down and gradually increase in volume until the concluding half note is reached, which will be held slightly longer to accentuate the entire climax point of the right hand beautifully. At the conclusion of the piece will be a slight retardando, or a slight slowing down of the tempo, so that the listener can hear that the song is about to end. This is an important point because it's very jarring to a listener to just suddenly end a piece of music, especially in a song like Auld Lang Syne. At the end of the piece, the left-hand note should be slightly emphasized so that it rings on hauntingly to slowly die out as a single note. And this is the advanced version of Auld Lang Syne. Excellent. And this is the solo of the solo arrangement of Auld Lang Syne. It's the easy harp arrangement first, followed by the advanced harp arrangement. Excellent. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.